We're talking with Chuck Negron, formerly of Three Dog Night, but he is here in Wisconsin on Saturday, August 10th. He's not here yet. Still got to get the concert done in Iowa, but with the Happy Together Tour 2013, you're with a great lineup of artists, and we know who's there, but kind of run through who are you with this time around?
Well, there's Gary Lewis and the Playboys, who open the show, and then it goes to Mark Lindsay from Paul Revere and the Raiders, and he does a great rock and roll show. And then after that is Gary Puckett and the Union Gang. It's some just beautiful, great sing-along kind of songs. And then I come out doing Shambhala and Celebrate, and Mama Told Me Not to Come, and Eli's Coming, and One, and Joy. And then the Turtles come out. Flo and Eddie, they come out and they do their great songs, and then the finale is with all the bands re-singing the very first lines of their song and the choruses, so we all sing them together. So it's a fun show.
It's kind of like a big medley at the end of sorts?
Yeah, it's at the end of the Turtles' Happy Together song. We all come out and we sing along with Gary singing This Diamond Ring, and then we sing along with Mark Lindsay singing Kicks, and then we sing along with Gary Puckett on, I guess it's Young Girl. I think it's Young Girl. Yeah, Young Girl. And then I Do Joy of the World, they sing along with me. Then the Turtles redo the chorus, Happy Together, and we take it out.
Well, how did you get involved with this particular run of the Happy Together tour?
Well, the promoter, I worked with him several years ago. I think it was 7 years ago when there was a tour called the Hippie Fest. And it was kind of like this tour, and the Turtles were on it, and somehow those two got together and decided to do a Happy Together tour, and like 5 years later they called me and they said, we enjoyed working with you, blah, 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 and so that's how I got on it.
Very cool. Now, describe being on the road with this particular lineup of all of these four other acts and yourself. What's it like with this crowd? Because you all haven't performed all together before. What's it like being on the road with these guys?
Oh, they're good guys. I performed with Gary Puckett before, and I performed with Howard Mark. Well, I've known Howard Mark for 30 years. Mm-hmm. And Gary Lewis is a really, fine entertainer and good guy, as is Mark Lynch. So we all, it's nice. We all get along, no drama. We're all kind of seasoned pros, and, kind of, it fits. Everyone kind of fits with the other guy. So there's a lot of camaraderie, and as I said, no drama, which is great. The tour started on your birthday, was on June 8th. Was that your favorite concert thus far of this tour, or is there another one that's kind of been your favorite show thus far? Well, Beverly Hills, which was, a couple of weeks later. It's not far from where I live, and two of my two youngest girls came. So I was really excited, and they got on stage with me. So far, that's my favorite, just because there was family there. I had a good night. And my girls were there. I hadn't seen them in a couple of weeks, so it was nice. And the Savin Theater on Wilshire Boulevard, great venue. So I'd never been there before, so I loved it. Cool.
We're talking with Chuck Negron, formerly of Three Dog Night, who's with the Happy Together Tour 2013, performing at Ho Chunk Gaming in Black River Falls on Saturday. That's on August 10th. You mentioned a few of the songs you're performing. Of either the ones you perform on this tour or in any of your shows, which one, it's kind of a two-part question. Which song do you most enjoy performing, and is there a song that in a perfect world you wish you performed more often?
Well, I'd like to do easy to be hard more often, but sometimes the number, we have so many people. There's only an allotted amount of time, so I bump that as opposed to one or celebrate, some of the more up tempo things or mid tempo. My favorite song to sing is one. Easy to be hard is my favorite song, but it's challenging. So it's I'm not as relaxed on easy because I have to overcome some obstacles to get to the end. So whereas one, I have it down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So easy is not an easy thing to sing.
Exactly. Now, and you've mentioned, speaking of the difficulty of some of the songs to sing versus ease and whatnot, singing and your voice, after decades in the industry and being able to sing all the notes and be able to do it night after night, you need the training. And you mentioned you have a vocal coach, that a lot of it's sort of in a physical way. Describe what exactly do you do to keep your voice in shape? What kind of vocal exercises or diet or whatever? What do you do to keep your throat and your vocal cords properly done?
Well, I do 25 minutes of vocal warm-ups that start very simple and very in lower keys, and then getting up and moving up the scale. And I do them every night. So, that serves me well. Plus, just singing every night. It's like, doing curls. You do them long enough, you're going to get the muscles. So, just the act of singing properly and not burning your voice out. In other words, knowing how to go up to the higher notes and not thinning them out so much that you're hurting your voice, and that's all relaxation. It's just really understanding your instrument and what you can do, and in your warm-ups each night, you will sing the areas that you might be having trouble with that night. Sometimes the range doesn't come, so when you start your set, you have to really be careful on those higher notes, not to push through it to make them, because you can burn your voice out. So it's all, you learn. And I still sing the songs in the same keys. So, the keys that a 20-year-old picked. Mm-hmm. So, I have to prepare to do them. I just happen to like the sound of the original keys as opposed to, lower keys. And it's the reason I picked them, 40 years ago. But anyway, there's a lot to it. And what the bottom line is, having it move from your head to your heart, from your heart to your soul, and let it all flow out because it's a gift.
It is Chuck Negron we're talking to. Happy Together Tour 2013 at Ho Chunk Gaming, Black River Falls on August 10th. Now, speaking of your voice, you're using it for new music as well. And you've gotten on board with the Kickstarter campaign that a lot of people have done, from brand new musicians just starting out with their first release to some of the biggest names in the business. I believe Spike Lee is now getting involved. So everyone's doing it. You're doing it now for a new project called Then and Now, which pretty much aptly describes the project. Describe how this is, why you went to Kickstarter and what is the project. Tell the listeners.
Well, I went to Kickstarter because I shopped the thing around. I have three Dog Night songs that have never been released, and each label kind of felt they should get Danny and Corey involved, so there would not be any problems legally or anything. The fact is, I own them, so that. Everyone just no one wants to be sued, so they just want to take the safest way. I would have done that, but unfortunately, Danny and Corey don't talk to one another. I mean, they work together, but it would never have happened in the studio because they cannot get along. They don't play well together. Mm-hmm. But at any rate, so the backers, this and that. There was so many. problems. I started having my lawyers spending more money than I could have made an album, talking to these people. So my girlfriend said, you should do Kickstarter. There's a lot of people, and actually she mentioned Spike Lee. And maybe that was after I started. But anyway, she said, do it. Blah, blah, blah. So I just threw it out there. And now we don't got many days left, but we're a little over halfway there. So, we're hoping that these last, 3, 4, whatever dates, 8, I don't even know how much days it is, that this thing goes through. But it was really an eye-opening thing that people are, will get involved and help you. And then there's the others that go, Chuck Negron must be rich. Why is he asking his fans, to pay? And they're missing the whole point of the thing. But, we're going to see. I thought it's been a wonderful experience, and it is. I've not had to deal with the record companies, and investors who want this and that, and they want you to do a song by their niece. It's like unbelievable.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with the A&R guys or anything like that, so it does help for the independents.
It does, and the thing being, at this point in my career, Three Dog never had an A&R guy. We never had anybody. I brought in the material, Corey brought in the material, the band, we showed it to the band, they learned it, we put it out. And we were our own producers, so, and take 40 years down the line, I don't need an A&R guy. I don't need, and I'm not saying that arrogantly, maybe someone to critique the stuff, when we're, a little down the line, but, I don't need anyone sitting there. I work very quickly. I run and do 3-part harmony, 4-part harmony, do stacks of 5 different voices. I have people that do the same thing because I'm too ADT not to work fast. I'm moving all over the place getting stuff done. So anyway, if I'm afforded the opportunity, by these fans who have had faith and now they're involved, and we have fans that have $10,000 to come to a concert and play on stage with me. But $10,000, that's a pretty big commitment. So at any rate, I'm very excited about it, and we'll see what happens.
They can get there through your website and Facebook page, I presume?
Yes, webpage and Facebook.
Okay. Say that again?
Yeah, the web page is www.chucknegron.com and Chuck Negron on Facebook.
Okay, perfect. That's the place to go. Quickly, if you can describe, what's your new music like? What's kind of the style and genre, or kind of what are you looking at?
I don't like writing about love, and I find myself reaching out and trying to find subjects. So not that love is bad, it's not. But the songs are very harmony based. There's a lot of hooks, and then me singing against them. I have Floyd Sneed, the original drummer from Three Dog Night, playing some fantastic grooves that only he could lay down. And I have some great LA musicians that have kind of pulled it into today, which they can do only by the sound. So to describe it, I think it's really different. Except once you hear those harmonies, you're going to go, "Oh yeah, I remember that."
Hopefully we'll get it out soon. Let's hope the Kickstarter campaign kicks through. A couple more questions here. We've got Chuck Negron with the Happy Together Tour. First question, what song do you find the fans like the most?
It's really varied. We get a lot of calls for, of course, Joy of the World, One, but then Pieces of April, a real pretty song that I did Out in the Country, another pretty song that the three of us sang. I'm trying to think what we've been hearing out on this tour. A lot of Joy of the World. Oh, Eli's Coming. I don't know if I said that, but we get a lot of requests for Eli's Coming.
Very cool. And a lot of songs you're going to be hearing on Saturday night. Last question. Do you have any message for your fans or for anyone who might be coming to the concert?
I want to thank you all for all the support. For buying tickets to come to this, this show, it means a great deal to me. And, it's what I do. I'm out there, so it's great that you guys are helping us make our way. And you can enjoy the show, and it's a fun show, so get ready to smile. It's
going to be a lot of fun. You guys are going to be, you're in Iowa now. You're eventually going to make it to the Minnesota State Fair. You're heading up a lot of these state fairs here. So you're having,
exactly.
Yeah, you can compare all the things on a stick, which I can only hope to do at some point. So in back to you, I thank you for all the music you've done. When I told my mom, who was in college back during Three Dog Night's heyday, that I was doing this interview, she's like, send along my thanks. So my mom says thank you and appreciates all the music you've done as well.
Thank you.
It's been greatly appreciated, and have a great show tomorrow night in Black River Falls.
Okay, thank you.